Welcome to a somewhat unusual, not Lego, Nonsense Wars production. We built this enormous KNEX rubber band gun in 2011, and it has waited 10 years for documentation and eventual disassembly. Originally, we called it a Gatling gun and later a volley gun, but I don't think it really matches the definition of either. Feel free to agree or disagree in the comments after I explain how it works. The gun contains 8 simpler repeating shooters. Each has an 8-tooth wheel with a rubber band loaded on each tooth. The bands want to pull the teeth forward, but 2 separate triggers prevent the wheel from actually rotating. While the shooter has rounds, pulling the front trigger, the arming trigger, turns the wheel such that pulling the rear trigger, the firing trigger, turns the wheel such that the top tooth releases its rubber band. The arming trigger then prevents the wheel from releasing the rest of the shots at the same time. Loading works in reverse. You stretch a rubber band between the tip of the barrel and the top tooth, rotate the wheel backward, the triggers act as ratchets, and rinse and repeat. From what I can tell, this action doesn't count as any flavor of automatic because it doesn't reload itself. This entire mechanism, similar to the escapement in a clock, feels quite sensitive to the strength of the fixed rubber bands tensioning the 2 triggers. Inadequate force will prevent the triggers from catching the wheel and allow the wheel to fire all shots at once, effectively a misfire. We actually modified the design while filming because we could not remember how to properly route the fixed bands. 8 rounds for 8 shooters mounted to a spindle makes for a total of 64 shots. A crank turns this assembly through a set of gears, and a fixed wheel at the bottom of the travel activates the arming triggers. A large lever raises a pivoting wheel at the top of the travel and activates the firing triggers. The individual shooters get rearmed at the bottom of the travel, and the cycle repeats. In theory. In practice, the shots come out somewhat sporadically, indicating that many of the shooters often don't fire or misfire, though most of the rounds eventually come out. I think problems reside in both the individual shooters and the combined gun, but to be fair, we never really tweaked this design after the original build. On that note, this is the end of the video, so have a nice day.
Okay, just ease it back whenever you want.